We're excited to provide our YMCA family with the opportunity to exercise with us during these challenging times. We miss all of you, and we hope that you and your loved ones are well and staying healthy. Thank you for your continued support as we work behind the scenes to make sure that your facility and staff are prepared for your return when the facility reopens. Thank you and have a great workout.
Hi, I'm Pamala Lewis, and I'm at the night branch in the YMCA yoga room. I'm glad you all could make it today. We're going to do back yoga, which is a particular way of working with the body that's very gentle, it's very slow, and it's very precise. It's all about releasing and decompressing tension throughout the whole spine, from the tailbone all the way up to the top of the head. So every pose has a purpose, and all of us carry a lot of tension in our spines, right in the center of the spine. So it's not always easy to get to in other kinds of yoga and other kinds of stretching. So this class is all about releasing and letting go. So some of the benefits of this, besides getting rid of an achy back, but it's very deeply meditative, and you'll be very relaxed by the end. So do the poses that work for you. Don't do the ones that don't. And also, if you need to come out of a pose at any time, feel free just to come out, bring your knees to your chest, roll over, and then come back in whenever you're ready. You might want to look at this video one time through if you've never done back yoga here in Mystic, but it's up to you. If you've done it already, then you'll know most everything that we're doing. Okay, so first thing what you'll need is something for under your head. You'll need something soft to lay on. It can be a blanket. You can do it on your carpet. You don't really need a yoga blanket. Nice loose clothing. You'll need something underneath of your knees because we do supported Shavasana. You could do it on a chair to get the knees higher. If you have a lot of ache in your lower back, you'd want your legs to be up higher. But you want your lower back to be on the floor so the whole spine is supported all at the same time. So, I think we're going to begin. So once you've gotten onto the floor, make sure that your feet are nice and resting heavy, that they're not hanging or dangling in the air, but there's some support under the heels or the balls of the feet. And also make sure that your legs are comfortable, and just slide your hands under your lower back and see if there's any space under there. And if so, you might need something a little bit taller under your knees, like a chair, as I mentioned, or you can just kind of scoot your buttocks towards your support, lengthen, stretch, and drop the legs. So there's no tension in the thighs at all, holding up the legs, are completely relaxed. Lower back is somewhat flat, supported all the way up through the middle, upper back, shoulders come down, and the arms are just resting heavy with the palms up, or the hands can be resting on the belly or the hips. So just settle in, take some nice deep breaths, and let your body totally let go. Release any tension you might notice anywhere in the body. If you need to get even more comfortable as things start to relax, feel free to adjust yourself. Again, you might scooch the hips down or stretch the legs way out and drop them on the floor. You might feel like your neck needs some support. I have a knee pad here that I'm using. We'll use that later. And chin is down so your back of your neck is long. And again, find a comfortable and kind of sink in even deeper into your pose. This is called supported Shavasana, yoga's relaxation pose. Notice how good it feels on your spine to have the floor supporting it, holding it. And you can really let those spinal muscles go and just sink right down into the floor. And let's do a body scan now, which will bring us deeper into relaxation. So bring your awareness all the way down to your feet. And you might even wiggle your toes a little bit if you can't feel your toes. And just then quiet them down and be very still and see if you can feel your big toes. You're not imagining what your toes look like. You might be thinking about your toes, but go into feeling your toes. And let's go through all of the toes. Feel the big one, all the way as it goes into the foot, like a carrot going into the ground. The nail, the tip, the back of the toe, the ball of the foot, and then go all the way through the second toe, really zooming in with your attention. Feeling, you might feel numbness, that's okay. You might feel tension, tingling, anything at all, any sensations, they're all good. We just want to feel our feet. Go all the way to the little toes, and then feel all 10 toes at the same time. The tips, the nails, and the back of the toes. And just see if you can relax any tension you feel in your toes. Relax down and through the balls of your feet, underneath of the toes. Feel down and through the arch of your foot. See if you can soften the arch. And imagine any tension that you feel in your feet go right out the foot and right down into the earth. So it's like water or light, anything you can imagine, you're just softening and releasing right down. Feeling the tops of the feet, the skin on the outside, the temperature of the feet, and then the thickness of the foot and any tension deep inside your feet. From the toes down through the middle, the arch, and all the way to your ankle and heel. And just feel both feet resting heavy on the ground, sinking in, softening, letting go. Some of you might notice that when you start to relax your feet, other places in your body and even your spine will start to relax because everything is connected together. So let's move from the toes and the feet up through the ankles and the lower legs, feeling the calf and the back. You might feel it resting on your support of your bolster, blanket, or chair. Feel that bone in front of the leg, the shin bone, the tension that we hold in there. Feeling the whole lower leg into the knee. Lots of layers of sensation in the knees, so feel the back and the front, the top and the bottom. And softening any tension from your knee all the way down your lower leg, through the foot into the ground. And then we'll feel the thighs, front of the thighs, the back, the inside and outside. And just let your thighs be nice and heavy, resting on your support. Relaxing into the hip sockets, the femur bones going into those nice sockets. Softening any tension you come across. Let everything just sink right down. Feeling your hip bones. Relaxing through the pelvis. And feeling both buttocks right and left, relaxing down. And any tension you feel in the pelvic area, the outside or the inside, just relax and let it go right down through the buttocks into the earth. Releasing tension. Let's breathe now. You might notice already your breath, so we're going to breathe in and out, and see if when you breathe in you can feel your belly rising. You might even put your fingers on your belly And see if they lift when you breathe in. You might push the belly out a little bit to relax these belly muscles if you work out a lot and you're real tight here. And then as you exhale, let everything soften back, and you'll feel the weight of the pelvis, the buttocks, the hips, the bones, just sink deep down into the ground. And that's what you want in this kind of yoga, a feeling of sinking in. So let's take a nice long breath down as deep as you can, maybe get to the belly. Might be 4 or 5 counts. Pause to feel the fullness, and then soften and let everything release down to the earth. And do that a few times on your own. Relaxing pelvic muscles, hip muscles, thigh muscles, feeling your whole lower body just letting go, sinking in, releasing into the support of the floor. And again, take your attention, notice if anything else in your body is starting to relax as you do the lower body. Because again, remember, everything is connected in the body. Your toes all the way up to your legs into your hips, and everything is connected to your backbone. So believe it or not, we're relaxing your backbone by releasing and relaxing your legs. So let's move up to the middle back. And in the front of the middle back is the bottom of the sternum, the xiphoid process where the ribs come together, tight place here. So let's think of breathing into this area. I call this the middle breathing room. This is the lower breathing room, the actual space inside. The middle breathing room, the ribs wrap around and connect to the middle of your back. And you might want to put your hands here if you'd like. You don't have to. And just take a deep breath right into this middle space. Feeling this part of your body open and expand on the in-breath, and soften, relax, and sink down into the spine on the out-breath. Let's do this a few times at your own speed. The whole lower body relaxing and sinking in. Good. Now we're going to move up to the upper chest, feeling the sternum all the way up to the clavicle bones, feeling the breasts in the front, around the sides, and into the shoulder blades in the back. So let's breathe into what we call the upper breathing room, the space in the upper lungs, rib cage, sternum, somewhere around the heart, shoulder blades in the back. And let's breathe in here. Filling, expanding, feeling the hands rise and separate a bit on the in-breath. And exhale, and sinking right down through your shoulder blades in through the floor, releasing all tension right down into the back into the earth. If you get dizzy, it might mean you're breathing a little bit too much, not breathing out enough. So let's just let go of any special breathing now and just feeling the heavy legs, the whole spine sinking into the earth, the front of the body, the sides. And just feel that space, the lower breathing room, the middle and the upper breathing room, that whole big space inside your body. Feeling it all open and expand, and soften and relax on the exhale. So that's a little secret. On every exhale that we do today, when you remember, use that as a letting go breath, a letting go of tension, wherever you might feel it, in one little part of your body or a larger part of your body. Okay, so the exhale, like if you ever go scuba diving, it's the same thing. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Release, release, release. Good. So let's bring your awareness to your shoulders and down the upper arm, the elbows heavy on the ground, lower arms, wrists, and feel the palms of your hands, the fingers, feeling your thumbs and pointer fingers, middle fingers, ring finger and baby finger. All 10 fingers at the same time, both palms, the back of the hand resting on the earth. Right up through your wrist, lower arm, elbows, upper arms, and shoulders. Feel the shoulder blades in the back where the arms connect, and feel both hands and arms at the same time. Feeling the length of your arms, the volume, and the weight of both arms. Good. Feeling legs and arms, torso, and out through the throat and the neck, and into the head. Feeling your forehead relaxing, the eyebrows where some of us hold some tension, let those soften. The eyeballs relaxing, the little muscles around the eyes, the temples, the cheeks, inside the sinuses. Feel your nose and your nostrils. Feel your lips and the upper teeth and lower teeth and tongue. And let your jaw soften and relax. The tongue falls back into the throat as the throat opens. And feeling all this tension you might have in your face, just go right through your head, through your brain, and right out the back of your head, into the earth. Releasing and letting go. Good. You're going to feel the whole back of the body grounded and at ease. Feeling the back of the head sinking into the ground, the back of the arms, shoulder blades, middle back, lower back, buttocks. Feeling the back of the legs heavy over your chair, blanket, or bolster. And your feet heavy, your heels sinking in. So you feel the whole back of your body sinking, releasing, deeply resting, letting go. Feeling the front of your feet, your legs, front of your pelvis and belly, your middle chest, upper chest, your neck and arms, the inner arms and hands and the face. Feeling the whole front of your body. And how different it is than the back of your body. Feeling the space above you and around you. And notice whenever you breathe in, your body expands up and it widens like a light and on a dimmer switch, getting brighter as you breathe in. Oxygen is going to every cell in your body, so everything is expanding. And as you exhale, all the extra energy in your body goes right out the back, and the whole body becomes heavy and relaxed and at ease. So feeling your whole body front and back, back and front, right and left. Feeling the skin on the outside, the clothes on your skin, and feeling the inside where your breath is breathing you. Feeling the whole body, the whole breathing body, all at the same time as you just rest with your best friend and your closest companion, your body. Good. And as we make our transition, just take a moment and notice your relationship with the earth underneath of you. Notice if you feel a little bit more relaxed, a little bit heavier. Notice your relationship with your breath and all three of your breathing rooms, your lungs on the inside of your body. Notice how you feel. Is there a word? Good. So we're going to go to the moving part of class. So we'll start very slowly by wiggling the fingers and the toes, the ankles and the wrists, and just moving around a little bit. We're going to do a few moments of a moving meditation where we're going to actually feel the weight of the body. We're going to start with right arm. You're going to raise your right arm and feel how heavy that arm is. It's just relaxed down. This is one big breath in. And as you breathe out, you're going to let your elbow drop and feel the weight of this arm hitting the floor bump and then relaxing and totally relaxing. And see if you can track this into your spine. What part of your spine is tightening when you lift and what part of your spine is relaxing when you let that arm relax back down to the earth. Let's do the left arm. Okay, breathe out just to empty. Breathe in, and if you want, you could go all the way down to your lower breathing room, working middle and upper if you'd like, or just breathe in a long breath in. You might open your fingers and stretch, tighten up your arms, squeezing your muscles, feeling this arm, and then let's soften, empty. Let the elbow become heavy, the elbow releases, and the hand and the wrist become heavy. So the focus of this yoga is on that part, the letting go part. Instead of on the squeezing, it's on how do you let go? How do you open and soften your body, which then softens your back. So let's do both arms, breathing in. Stretch up. If you want to stretch up even further, you'll feel your shoulder blades come off. You'll feel your core muscles engaging here. You might feel tension in your legs. And then we'll exhale, dropping the elbows, heavy, heavy release, and drop. And empty. Let's do both arms again. If you've already done this with me before, just go on your own and do your own practice of going up and down with each breath in and out, using the arms and the legs. And for those who haven't, you can just work along with me. So we'll work with both arms now, breathing in. Feel the shoulder blades moving in the back. Reach up with your arms. Feel tension in the neck, the belly. And now the arms are going to go over the head and relax over. Resting the hands heavy. Now if you have any shoulder issues, you probably don't want to do this. So this would be a part you don't do. Breathing in, coming back up. Stretching up. And back down. Relax. Good. Breathe in and up. This time we're going to go to the side. Stretch up. Feel everything tightening. Now open out to the side. Elbows leading, which relax the shoulders, the wrist, and the hands. And really enjoy this open space that you now have across your chest, your heart, the inside of your arms and hands. Breathing in whenever you're ready, coming back up. Crossing the right arm over the left arm, exhale and release. And feeling the shoulder blades in the back opening, some tension in the shoulders releasing, back of the neck. Breathing in, coming up, stretching up, and cross now the left over the right and release. Good. Enjoy the letting go part. We're learning how to focus on the feeling good part of yoga, the part where you let go. Okay, so breathing in and up. And this time we're going to lift the head if you can. If you want to, you don't have to. It's an option. Feel your core, your belly, the tension, and then come back down. Everything empties, more space. Relax, let go. And just notice how you feel. Feel the breath, how it's moving, maybe more freely. We're going to do the leg. So you lift up a leg, keeping your thigh on your bolster pad or chair, and then drop your foot without hurting it. Just feel that drop, and then see if you can feel that vibration through the water body, because your body's mostly water. So it's just going right through, and you stretch. You might point your foot very gently, and then release. You might do both feet at the same time. Feel the thighs tighten. Now see if you can feel this in your back.
So it's not just your legs, your whole back is squeezing to hold your legs up. And now you release your legs and your back relaxes. So let's do this at your own speed again. You can go on your own, or you can move with me. We're doing both legs. I'm going to do my right arm and my right leg. You can go up as high as you want. Breathing in, stretching in my point or flex, and coming down and release. And feel that letting go. Let's do the other side. Left arm, left leg, stretch up. Again, you might lift your head or you don't have to. And exhale and release. Going the whole length of the body from the hands to the feet, the fingers to the toes. And now let's just lift the upper body up again, the head reaching down towards the feet. Again, feeling what you feel. Feel the muscles that are working in your neck. Pull your shoulders back and down. And then we'll lift the left knee in and the right knee in. And let the head go. And here we are in our first pose, reclining child pose. So let's clasp the hands, knees are together, and let's just rest here. Feeling the back lengthening and widening. And feel and find your breath and follow it in and out. And notice any tension you might have in your face. Soften that, your arms, your belly, your hip sockets, your feet. You might even move your feet around. Squeezing your toes, flexing, pointing, circling. Just check in with your feet, oiling them up a little bit as we're really releasing tension in the lower back and actually through the whole spine. Good. Now you notice you can also bring your knees in and out here, and this gives a little massage for your whole backbone. You might notice that my head is also moving when I do this, because the whole back is connected. So when I move the legs are moving my hips are moving my spine, which is moving my neck, which is moving my head. So if your head is stuck here, you might be holding some tension in your neck. Everybody does, it's okay. So let's see if you can loosen that and let the head go move up and down. You can do this faster, or you can do it slower. You want to feel what you're doing. Okay, let's come to stillness. Find and feel the breathing body. Any tingling or movement through your water body that you might have gotten from rocking the body. And we'll move into our first pose, alternative leg. So let's hold on to the left knee with the hands clasped. Hold that knee right in towards the left ear. And take your right leg and stretch it up and reach it out and let that foot relax on the floor. So this leg is long and that thigh is relaxed. The hands are clasped and you're bringing your knee right into your ear. Shoulders are down and back, so you're not up here, down and back. Soften here, hold this knee in and start to soften any tension that you might feel through your feet or legs, hip socket, thigh, belly, chest, arms, neck, face, jaw. And just start to sink in. And again, remember, every time you exhale, you can let go of tension. So if you notice you're having an inhale, use that opportunity to exhale and soften. This pose is for your tailbone. This helps to release any tension at the bottom of the spine, so you want to release those pelvic muscles. And if you notice your leg is starting to go out to the side, and this is what we're going to do next, and it does feel really good, but not yet. Wait for that one. So let's push the knee back up. So you're using your hands, so if you let the leg flop, be flopping your leg, so release these tensions and use the arm to lift it to center, let the lower leg relax, clasp, and again, bring right in to the center line of the body, and let go. If you like, you can breathe in and say the word in, breathe out, say the word out, just to keep track of the breath if you want to do mindfulness of breathing. Otherwise, just keep feeling your body. Good. And we'll bring both knees in, holding on to both knees, clasping the hands or holding the hands. And see if you can feel the difference inside the pelvis. You might notice the one you just did might feel a little bit more open than the one we haven't done yet. Good. Bringing the hands to the right knee, stretch the left leg up and over so this left thigh is relaxed. Clasp the fingers and bring that knee in towards the midline of the body and towards the right ear. Again, let's take this leg out to the side because a lot of people like to do this. To turn this leg out, you'll see the hip goes up. So you want this hip to stay down. You could put your hand here and then use this hand to lift this knee up. So you might try this floppy movement if your hip is okay. If it hurts and this doesn't feel good, then don't do this bigger movement. But it also can feel really good just to flop that thigh around and let that hip open a bit. And then let's use the arm muscles to come back to center, to the midline, the knee back to the ear. And now we're working with the muscles that run right up the spine, from the tailbone all the way through the sacrum, lower back, middle back, upper back, neck, and skull. And start to soften here. Anything you notice that might be tight. On the exhale, you're going to soften anything you notice in your body. Softening that hip socket, pelvic muscles, the belly muscles. So in this kind of yoga, we're not squeezing the core the whole class. That is fantastic work. But in this class, we're seeing if you can let go of that, because it causes a lot of back aches for some people. So we're going to just soften that inner tension that doesn't really need to be there to have a strong belly. So let's soften and bring that knee in. Now some of you might want to take the knee out and bring it in. This might feel a little bit better. Have a little bit of movement going on here. So this is okay. And some of you might just hold the knee in and relax and soften. Keep checking in with your neck and shoulders, mouth and jaw. And then we'll bring the other knee in. So we're holding both knees together at the same time and feeling down into the pelvis, the hip sockets. And see if you can feel some more space. You may not. There's layers and layers of tension in our spine, through our body. So we're just working one layer at a time. So there's no rush. Of course, if you did this yoga every day, I do, each night before I go to bed, then you start getting deeper and deeper openings through your body. So let's now go to the sacrum. We did the tailbone, and now the next release we're going to get is through the sacrum, right above the tailbone. It's at your lower back. And we're going to put the feet on your bolster, your chair, your blankets, and then we're going to open the knees and have the ankles resting. The toes are pressing, the heels are pressing, so it's like your feet are praying, and your legs are just relaxed and heavy. Your hands can be with the palms up, resting on the ground, the hands on the belly or the hip bones. Just gently press your toes together, feeling those toe muscles. And again, let's try this. Press your toes together gently and just feel what you feel in your hip sockets. All right? And now let go of the feet. Keep them together. Keep the toes together, but just soften the muscle tension in your feet. Yes, you have muscles in your feet. And just notice if there's any connection for you in your body up in the hip and belly area as you work with your toe muscles. See what you find there. So when we use our toe muscles, we can relax a little bit more in the pelvis, lower back area. And this is the sacrum, the sciatic nerve goes through your spine and through this sacrum down through your legs. This is good for prevention of sciatica because we're softening the sacrum in the back. Okay, you can use your hands if you can reach, or just slowly bring the thighs together and bringing the knees back into the chest. We've just done the tail and the sacrum, and now we're going to move up your spine through your lower, your middle, your upper back and neck. So we're going to do a twist here. So we're going to open the hands, palms up, heavy, and twist the knees over to the side, and let the top leg be completely heavy on the bottom leg. The knee bone touches the wrist bone, or you can come all the way up to the elbow, but the legs are heavy. The arms are heavy, palms are up. And the arms are like an A-frame house. The head can be either towards the knees to get a whole spiral through your spine from your tail, lower back, middle back, upper back, neck, all spiraling to one side. Now, if this back elbow doesn't rest heavy, place your hand on your waist or under your waist belt and let your elbow just fall back to release open all these pectoral muscles, the lats, and a lot of other shoulder muscles, rib muscles, back muscles, whatever feels good for you. So either the elbow is on the floor, palm up, or the hand is resting on the waist, shoulder back. Soften any tension you feel, pelvis, belly, neck, arms, hands, feet. You people who used to be ballet dancers, check out your feet. Make sure they're not pointing and holding tension. Let them relax. Good. And we'll bring your right knee back in, or whatever your top knee is, and the other knee back in. And feel your spine, the difference of one side and the other. Take a couple breaths. We always go back into try to filling the lower, the middle, the upper breathing rooms, like filling a vase of water. You go down at the very bottom with your water, and it goes all the way up to the clavicles and shoulders, and then all the way down. Or you can think of the water coming up underneath of you, in through your body, and then emptying back down into the earth to release those deep held tensions in the spine. Okay, let's do the other side. So in a twist, there's a lot of kinds of twisting, right? We're going to start from the knees up, like we did on the other side. So let's twist all the way over. You can roll onto your side if you'd like, right onto your shoulder blade, your head. You might need a little pillow here or something under your head. And then you're going to open up the rib cage. Elbow, if it can, goes on the ground, and the palm is up, and this hand is open, palms up. And if you can't reach with your elbow, then just place your hand either in your waist belt or on your waist, and just let this fall back. You see that? This is holding, this is falling back. So let that shoulder open, let the natural weight of the body open. And this gets deep into the spine when you're not pushing back or squeezing back. You're just letting it be natural from the weight of the bones and the muscles here. The head can be center, straight, or towards your knees, whatever feels good on your neck. And let's breathe here and relax on the exhale. Good. This is a great pose for relaxing your central nervous system. It's also good for massaging your organs, great for digestion. It's also giving you more space and squeezing some muscles around the lungs to give them more space to open and to breathe. So let's bring the knees back up to reclining child pose. This is a pose we come to all the time, this our middle pose. And then we're going to come off the floor now. So roll on either side and just rest on your side for a moment. See what it feels like to be off the back. Resting heavy. And you can take your front arm, press it down, and just push yourself up to sitting. Okay? And once we're here and we've come off, let's just take a moment here in whatever position you want to be in and just feel yourself sitting upright. You might feel a little dizzy, so do it nice and slow. Good. Now we're going to go into a child pose. We were in a reclining child pose, and now we're going to a regular child pose. So if you need something in your knee, under your knees, you can take a towel or a knee pad. And I'm going to use a knee pad today. And I'm just going to bring my knees together, not apart. In this kind of yoga, you want your knees together, and that then gets up into the spine. As soon as we open, we're in the hips, and the spine tightens. So it's good sometimes to do this, but for this yoga, we're going to keep the knees together because we want to release the whole back. We'll walk our hands forward, down to the elbows, put one fist on top of the other, and just rest your forehead. And if you can do this, just sink in and relax. And now you're going to breathe into your back space, the back of your lower, middle, and upper breathing rooms. Feel everything expand and soften and sink in and relax. Good. Okay, we're going to now do a cat-cow. So again, I'm going to keep this under my knees, and I'm going to walk myself with my support, my wonderful mystic support here. And let's go with the hands underneath the shoulders, and your knees and your thighs are underneath of your hips. And let's do a cat by breathing out, and you're going to start with your tailbone, right? We talked about the tailbone, the sacrum, lower, middle, upper back, and each piece by piece we're going to press the tailbone down, the belly will lift, then the sacrum, then the middle, then the upper back between the shoulder blades, then the neck and the head. Elbows are straight, feet are relaxed, toes down. And then as we inhale, we're going to tilt the pelvis back first, middle back, upper back sinks through the shoulder blades, the neck, and the head. Okay, this was the breath in. You can go as fast or as slow as you want. You can follow me or do your own speed here. Breathing out, curling up. Ribs come into the front ribs, come into the back ribs, pressing down through the knees and the hands. And exhale, lower, middle, upper back, neck, and head. A few more times. Okay, good. Relax. Now, if you get confused about the breathing, don't worry about it. Whatever you do is the right thing. You can never do a bad breath. All breathing is good. So from here, we're going to do probably the more challenging poses, and it is called a lunge. And I'm going to use my knee pad, and I'm going to get some blocks. If you have some, great. If you don't, you might not need them. But we're going to go back into tabletop. And my hands are underneath. My blocks could be low, middle, or high. And I'm going to just feel this place. I'm going to go into my cat, pull my belly in. And again, you might need to come up here. I'm going to do that today. And I'm going to take one foot and I'm going to stretch it out in front. My toes are down. Now I'm going to lunge. I'm going to drop my head. And I'm going to lunge my knee until it stops right at the ankle. Then I'm going to move my blocks a little closer to my foot. And just press down and let my head hang right on the inside of the leg. Elbows straight. And hopefully you might have gotten your rib cage on your thigh. You might not. We'll talk about that maybe on the other side a little bit more. And now we're going to move out of the pose by pulling the blocks back. And we'll do a little hamstring stretch here, and the hamstrings go into the tailbone, so that's always a good thing. Keep your toes down, lean on your blocks, and just straighten up your knee. You might not be able to go too straight, but just as best you can. Let your head drop, and you'll feel a nice stretch in the hamstrings right into the tailbone. Okay, and now we'll lift the leg up. You can bring your blocks higher, bring the knee in, stretch it back, and open up that hip again. And then we'll start and do the other side. Okay, so you can come up to high blocks if you'd like. And I'm going to draw my right foot forward. Whatever foot you're doing is fine. Don't worry about doing it like me. And from here, we're going to bend the knee, drop the head, and lunge until the leg stops right at the ankle. You want to do a full lunge here. So if you're like this, and the knee is over the toe, you just need to walk your foot a little bit further forward. Drop the head, lunge, bring the hands underneath of the armpits, head is dropping, and you're just hanging out, elbows straight, and it's relaxing, and breathing too. Make sure you're breathing here. This pose is good for your psoas muscle, and it's a very long muscle. It might be the longest muscle in the body, and it goes from the inner thigh, both of your thighs, the inner thigh, and it connects into your lower back, right up in here. So we're trying to get that long muscle to stretch out. So we're going to slide the blocks back. We're going to move into a tailbone pose here. So our hands are underneath, so you're nice and supported. You could be up here if you needed to be. Keep your toes down. They're going to want to come up if your tailbone and your back is tight. So keep them down and just feel that nice long stretch on the hamstrings. And breathe. Good. And then we'll bring the knee in and stretch it out behind with the toes down. Extend through the spine. Cat again, lift up. And relax. Good. So you can put your blocks away and your knee pad. And we're going to do a couple of poses standing. So I'll see you when we get up there. Take a little bit of water. Drink a lot of water. Even more than normal. Okay, so here we are, standing with your toes slightly together, the outsides of your feet straight. So usually, especially if you are a dancer, your feet are like this. You want to pull the feet in so the outer edges are straight. So it almost looks like you're turning in a little bit. And you are a little bit. And that just realigns your knees and your hip sockets. So let's just stand here, open your feet, open up your toes, spread out your toes. Feel the bottoms of your feet, both soles of your feet. Close your eyes. And just soften through your ankles, and your feet are sinking down and through the ground. Soften your knees, let them bend a little bit so they're not locked. And see if you can soften your thigh muscles. Not that easy, but keep the knees a little bit bent. Relax the belly again, you don't have to squeeze it. Relax your buttocks muscles, all the way up your spine to the top of your head. So you're tall, but you're relaxed. Your arms are hanging. Breathing. And see how your balance is here with your eyes closed. Good. Let's bend and stretch the knees a little bit to kind of get that movement in the lower body, that softening, that bounciness, like your springs are in your knees or your ankles, your hips. Good. And let's breathe in and stretch out. Press down through your feet, out. We're going to go all the way up, hand-foot pose. You can either look up or look straight. And I'm going to start with the knees. We're going to exhale. The knees are going to start. The hands come right down to the heart. And then you let the head go and the arms come back to hanging. And we'll do that again. So knees are bent, so you want to keep everything relaxed. It's a little bit different in here. It's nice and soft. Go out to the side, stretch out, reach up. Good. Now let's stay here for a moment and do this like you do a normal yoga pose, where you're squeezing your butt, you're squeezing your thighs, and you're squeezing every single thing in your body. Okay, so feel that. Now, we're not gonna do that kind of yoga in here. We're gonna soften your buttocks. See if you can do that right now. Soften your thighs, soften your knees. You're in the same posture, but now you're relaxing in the posture. You're sinking down into the floor, letting those muscles, letting the spine relax. Okay, so you can do the same posture without all the squeezing. All right, let's come down to the heart and let the arms relax. Good. Now let's do another tailbone release. Most of you know this. We're going to start with the top of the head, and we're going to drop the chin down, and then the upper body goes down, and then the middle back. And you just see I'm going to roll down. If you don't have high blood pressure or anything wrong with your heart or your eyes, then you can go all the way down as far as you like to go with your knees straight if possible. And if you know that's not good for you, then of course bend your knees and maybe not go down quite as far. So you need to listen to your body and see what it says. We're going to hang out here and just feel those hamstrings lengthening, and this is releasing your tailbone. Good. Breathing, sinking into the floor. You might even have blocks here to lean on if you need it. And now again, we're going to soften the knees over your toes. And let's press down through the feet. See if you can keep your thighs relaxed. Roll your spine up, lower, middle, upper shoulders come back. And the head comes back up. And you're just resting here. Close your eyes again. And just feel yourself relaxing and releasing down through your feet into the floor. You're still tall and in a good posture, but you're more relaxed. The ears are in line with the shoulders are in line with the hips over the knees and ankles. Soften the knees. Good, arms are heavy. Good. And some of you already might have started to do a rocking side to side. And this is something you can do when you're shopping or you're out in public and you start to get a lower backache, and soften your knees and just do the littlest rocking possible. You could probably do it so small no one would even know you're doing it. And probably if you do it, and you can check this out if you'd like, the people around you will start doing it because it's such a soothing movement just to rock side to side. That's why we rock babies, right, to put them to sleep. There's something about rocking, about being in a water body that's very soothing and relaxing. So feel free to rock whenever you want. It also helps to keep things loose and not locked. Okay, let's do a couple more poses to finish. So we'll go back down onto your back. I'll get my knee pad for my head. Slide back down, and let's come back into our supported Shavasana. Get nice and comfortable so your legs are nice and heavy. Oh, before we go into our Shavasana, we have two more poses. So let's bring the left knee in and the right knee in, holding on. Okay, so we did our tailbone pose when we stood up and bent over. So now we're going to go into the sacrum. So the last sacrum pose we did where the knees were apart. Okay, that goes to the sacrum. Now we're going to do it where you put your left foot on your bolster, blanket or chair, cross your right knee over. So now the legs are medially rotated inward. If you can, you're going to lift underneath of your leg. Let this leg just plop down. And now we're again opening the sacrum in a slightly different angle, right above the tailbone. Softening, relaxing here. Check out your face. Now, if you can't do this and your chin is up like this and your shoulders are by your ears, then you need to let go with your arms and just let your foot rest on the edge of your bolster, chair, or the floor. And then just let this area open by itself without the arms. The arms are just extra for those who maybe have done this before and it's a little bit easier and they're a little bit more relaxed. Their spines are a little more relaxed. breathing in, heavy, relaxing, melting, melting, melting into the floor. Right. You can stay in a little longer if you'd like. I'm coming out. I'm going to feel the difference of my left and right sides of my thighs, my hip sockets, my sacrum. And then I'm going to put my other foot down, cross my leg over, and either stay here or underneath the thighs, bringing both knees in towards the rib cage. Let the shoulders relax back and down. Chin is down a little bit. And let's relax here. Softening, melting into the floor. Letting the spine open. Relax. And untangle the tension that is held deep in the spine. Untangle the legs coming out of the pose. Again, you can feel free to stay in as long as you want. Coming back to our reclining child pose, I'm going to twist one more time. So with the knees starting from the rib cage, palms go down first, palms up. Let's take the arms out a little bit and let the knees go straight over. The knees are touching the wrist or the elbows, palms up. Both arms down, heavy. Head is either looking to the ceiling or towards the knees. Now those of you who know and have been in this class and know how to do this safely, if you want to go deeper here, you would take your top leg, bring it up, and slide your lower leg down a little bit, and then see if you can get this knee on the floor. And if this back elbow comes up, don't try to press it down. Just put your hand on your waist and let it hang. So this is a little bit deeper twist. The head is in the direction of the knees. But if deeper is not better, deeper is definitely not better for most people. So this is also perfect and fine, just our regular twist. Breathing in, emptying, filling, emptying and filling. I'm going to take this back arm and stretch it down towards the buttocks. I'm going to roll over onto my side. And I'm going to place both hands together on the floor with my chin, my nose near the floor. And then I'm going to take this top hand, continue it over the head, and just stretch up. I might pull my belly in a little bit here. And then I'm going to just open my rib cage and let the arm move behind me and back down to where I began. And you'll feel different. You're now going a little bit deeper into this pose. So again, if you want to do this, let's do the easier way for folks who might have shoulder issues. You touch your shoulder with your hip fingers. This is your back arm. Your elbow now draws a circle first at your waist, then touches the floor in front of you. You feel this nice opening in the spine and the shoulder blade. Elbow goes over the head, so you get a nice stretch here on the triceps. Then you roll back, all the way back, and maybe that elbow goes on the floor, maybe it doesn't, and then we extend. So take a moment, you can do any of those three. You could just rest here, you could go deeper, or you can just rotate. It's very lazy. As you just circle this arm around the body. Pausing wherever it feels good to just sink in. Coming to stillness, finding the breath, feeling your whole breathing body. And now we'll do the other side. Both knees come back up. You adjust your clothes if you need to. Take a moment here, soften your thighs. So if you let your arms go, they flop down, so you want your thighs to be relaxed. All right, let's go to the other side. So knees twist to the opposite side. The knees touch the wrist or the elbow. Both palms are up. And if you can, that back elbow is on the ground. If it's not, just place your hand on your waist and let the arm and this open. So we end with our twist. And for those who want to do the arm or the elbow circle, you can do that. Bringing the fingers to the shoulder, elbow goes to the waist, front of the body, towards the head. Rotate the whole spine is opening, rotating forward and back. Pausing wherever you feel like you want to just rest. What can you let go of here in the twist? What might you be holding on to? Is your left leg completely relaxed over the right leg? If you're having a hard time with your knees together, you might have an extra towel or folded up or rolled up to put between the knees to make this twist a little bit easier. Good. Letting go, every exhale, sinking, emptying down into the earth. And then we'll come back, eventually coming back to again our reclining child pose. And now we're going to take the feet over your bolster, pillow, blanket, chair, whatever. Readjust your clothes if you need to. And get as comfortable as you can get. Legs are completely relaxed. Thighs are not holding up your legs. Your hands are either palms up on the hips or the belly. And just feeling the whole body, how good it feels to, again, rest on your back. Take one last scan, feeling the bottoms of the feet, soles of your feet, tops of the feet and the toes. Feel the heels resting on the floor, both feet. Feel the air on your feet. Your feet up through your ankles, lower leg, feeling the calf resting on your bolster, blanket, chair. Feeling your knees resting, supported, the thighs supported. Feeling up through your hips and hip sockets to the right and left buttocks, the bones of the pelvis. Feeling your whole body from your waist down, grounded and at ease. Feeling up through your middle back, upper back, shoulder blades, neck and head. Feel your elbows resting on the ground, maybe your hands, both arms, both legs, torso and head. One breathing body, breathing itself, continuing to soften, to let go. Feel yourself grounded and at ease. Mind coming into your body again and again, and out of the talking room in the head where we're discussing things, future and past. Whenever you're doing that, know that you're not feeling your body, and that's okay, that's normal, but just come back down again and again to just scan, feel any part of your body, feel the parts that feel good right now, the parts that are warm, the parts that are breathing. parts that are resting. If you'd like to stay here even longer, feel free to continue your Shavasana as long as you'd like. If you need to fall asleep and you're feeling tired, and go ahead, if you're in a safe place, to take a little nap. Slowly, for those who want to make an ending now, we'll start to wiggle the fingers and the toes to slowly awaken the body. Stretching in any way you'd like to stretch, as if you're doing a morning stretch, legs, arms. Feeling everything that you're doing. You might bring your knees back in together. Eventually coming back up and letting the head roll from side to side. Relaxing the neck. Of course, your jaw is relaxed. Good. Okay, so from here we're going to roll over onto our side and use our hands to push ourselves up to a sitting position. And if you have a chair you'd like to sit on, or blanket or bolster, I'm going to use this bolster. Our purple bolsters from Mystic. And we're going to sit up here. If you want to sit on the floor, you can. And just come up and give yourself a little rocking side to side, feeling those two sit bones, each buttocks going in and other side. And finally, just come to that center place between left and right between those two sitting bones. And everything in your body will just open and relax once you find that place. So if you want to take a moment and just move a little bit, feeling each sitting bone. You do this really slow too. And notice that when you come right between those two sitting bones, things just, open space just happens right through your body. See if you can find that for yourself. Again, you're emptying, relaxing down through the buttocks, down through the feet. You're tall, but you're not pulling up. You're sinking down into your support, down through your seat. You can also move forward, see how that feels, and then center, move a little bit back, see how that feels. And again, just finding that part, that point between front and back that feels the most balanced. And there's really no such thing as a balanced place. If you're a human being, we're always balancing. So don't get to a place where you're holding. It's always a supple, fluid movement, since we are mostly water. So let's find both front, back, left, right. Just sink in, relax your feet and your legs. Your arms are heavy. Your jaw relaxes. Your chin is down a little bit to stretch the back of the neck. And we'll just sit here in meditation for a moment. As comfortable as you can be, make sure you're in a comfortable position for you. And just see if you can ride the breathing body like a wave. As it breathes in,
rise up, wave like you're like a cork, and you breathe out, and you come down. So just this little movement coming from the lungs, coming from the inside. And let's really work with our lungs now. There's a lot of stuff out there that might not be good for our lungs, so let's give some positive energy to our lungs. Let's fill them up all the way from the lower to the middle to the upper, front, side, and back. Really working them out, letting them expand, and then letting them soften upper, middle, lower, like emptying out water. Let's do that a few times, filling and emptying all of your lungs. You can imagine they're filling up with light, if you like, if you have visual capacities, and you can see this light filling and emptying. Seeing your lungs looking beautiful and healthy, working perfectly, being happy, healthy. You're getting outside and walking, doing your exercises to getting them moving, really taking care of our lungs. Care of our whole bodies at this time. And let's make our ending now, settling back into stillness, bringing the hands to the heart, the head to the hands. And we just rest here. You can think of this as a prayer position. If you have no religion, that's fine. You're just resting in this pose. Breathing. And let's think of something that you're grateful for. Anything at all that comes to your mind. It can be one thing or a list of things, but see if you can really feel it in your heart. Gratitude. What is that feeling? What does that do to the inside of your body when you feel grateful? I know my heart expands, my mouth smiles, my eyes smile. Everything in my body smiles when I really focus on that feeling in my heart of gratitude. Good. It's a really healthy thing to do each day, as many times as you can, being grateful for other people in your life, people who you're helping, things that you're doing to help your family and your neighborhood. And it's good to see you all. We're going to end with our Shanti, 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 which means peace, peace, peace. Namaste.